What is up, YouTube? It's Josh. This is the Den of Nerds. This video is going to be all about the Rebels Season 3 panel that happened on day 2 of Star Wars Celebration. It was all the hype, so we're going to talk about it, including Thrawn, Ahsoka, Mandalore, everything that's going to be crazy. So let's get right into it. So first of all, I'm going to try not to make this disjointed at all, but there was just so much that went on in this panel, and it was so awesome. I was grabbing onto little bits and pieces, and I was taking notes, trying to collect my thoughts, but honestly, it might be just a little all over the place, and I apologize for that. So let's start with what happened actually before the panel, which was, of course, the Ahsoka Tano panel that Dave was also a part of. Ashley Eckstein, who is the voice actress, was there. They were talking about the future of the character. There's a novel coming out about her, and Dave said something really interesting about how Ahsoka, he had always thought in his mind that she was dead, but there was so much of a fan outcry and there was so much mystery in that last scene that he literally, because of the fan outcry, was like, look, maybe she's alive, maybe we'll see her again, but he didn't go into detail about what kind of way she could be seen. A little bit later on, somebody asked him in the Q&A, and I'm talking about him. When I say him, I'm talking about Dave Filoni, the man Dave Filoni, my boy Dave Filoni. But somebody asked him in the audience, was it possible that Ahsoka could come back as a Force ghost? Because a lot of people think at the end of Twilight of the Apprentice, when she's walking back into the Sith Temple, that she could be a Force ghost. Dave gave this really awesome answer, and it just shows how much of a guru and a Jedi he really is when it comes to Star Wars. And he said, well, there's a technique that she would have to know in order to transport her consciousness into the Force and allow her consciousness to persist after death. And as of right now, she does not know that technique. So she probably is not going to come back as a Force ghost, at least until she learns that technique, or there could be some way around it or something. But I'm basically betting that she is not going to come back as a Force ghost. They showed some clips that were really, really cool. They show one with Ezra and Sabine being chased by Mandalorians who are basically loyal to the Empire. That scene was awesome. They're on the jetpack. She uses some kind of sonic device to disarm them. Ezra wall runs at one point. Their teamwork is incredible. Their chemistry is there. You see a little bit of that love connection building. I have this really crazy theory that Ezra is a founding member of the Knights of Ren, and that he founds that order basically because of his relationship and future love for Sabine. Because remember, Sabine is from Clan Ren, or it's either Clan Ren or House Ren, but there's a literal tie-in with the name. It's the only time I've ever heard the name Ren other than the Knights of Ren in canon. So I'm betting that it has something to do with that. I mean, think about it. What if he loves her, she gets killed, and then he basically starts up this order in her honor? Now, I'll do a separate video when I explain that theory in a little bit more of a detail. But something that's really, really cool is not only does she get a jetpack, which is a staple for all Mandalorians, but she gets the dark saber. The dark saber is, of course, the blade, very, very sharp blade-like saber that's been passed around in the Mandalorian families and in the Mandalorian war armies and their houses. It was taken from a Mandalorian, I believe, by Kenobi. I believe Kenobi was the first one. He fights and kills one of the Mandalorians in the Clone Wars. It gets passed around. At one point, Darth Maul has it, and you'll remember that Darth Maul was in charge of Death Watch at the end of Clone Wars. That was a big point of contention. He was building an army. He had the Mandalorians there. Another little clue that maybe makes me think that both Ezra and Maul had something to do with the Knights of Ren being built. But basically, that was why the Emperor goes there and kills Asajj Ventress, because of, or not Asajj, Sauvage Ventress, of Maul's brother, because they were starting to build what could actually be a threat with the Mandalorian armies. Very, very interesting stuff. Very cool to tie all of that back in together. But the clip was really, really cool. Shows some awesome stuff. They show a Darth Maul clip, which was mind-blowing. It was mind-blowing to me. Maul has the the crew of the Ghost as a prisoner. Ezra and Kanan show up. There's like really good back and forth between Kanan and Maul and Ezra and Maul. Kanan's like, yo, relax, Ezra, because Ezra wants to whoop that ass. And we can't really blame him for that. And just a very, very cool scene. Sam Witwer is so good as Maul. So good. I could not be more hyped for next season. The clip was really, really cool. It shows him trying to kill Kanan yet again by trying to space him, put him out in the vacuum of space. And then they kind of cut right there. But then they showed a couple cool clips, which was really cool. Then they showed us the official trailer for season 3. I'm sure you've seen that online. I'll put a link for it in the description below in case you have not. Very cool trailer. Now, what this trailer did that blew everybody's balls right off was the Thrawn reveal. That's right, Grand Admiral Thrawn from the Heir to the Empire trilogy that Timothy Zahn gave us. He is now canon. The way that they showed him in the trailer was awesome. They have those force repellent lizards, which Dave actually said they're not going to be actually in the series because they just don't quite work with the way he understands life and the force to work. But like when Thrawn turns around, you see the lizards like on his shoulders like they were in the novels, but they're the statues behind him. So much attention to detail. If you have not seen this panel, go see the panel. I know I'm a little scattered right here, but just go see the panel. The way they talk about Thrawn, the way everybody reveres this character and loves this character was awesome. I'm going to do a Thrawn 101 video, which should be coming out very soon, which will explain about the Legends version of the character. And we'll just kind of get a background for it and maybe see what they're going to pull from that and what they're going to do with him in the new canon. Timothy Zahn himself could not be there, but he did chime in with a little video that was pre-recorded where he's talking about the creation of the character on Rebels and the new novel he's working on, which is going to come out in April of next year. That's right, there's a new Thrawn canon novel coming out written by Timothy Zahn. I mean, this stuff, this is like Shakespeare. It's crazy that this kind of stuff is actually happening. It's the best time to be alive for a Star Wars fan, 100%. But that was really, really cool stuff. They introduced, in the trailer, you see this character named the Bendu. Okay, and the Bendu comes from George Lucas's original name for the Jedi. They were going to be called the Bendu. And he was kind of playing around with all sorts of philosophical ideas with light and dark. In the trailer, the Bendu is this big, like earthy creature, almost like a golem type thing, okay? And he talks about how there's the light and the dark, the Sith and the Jedi, and then him in the middle. Very interesting. And even in Clone Wars and then in Rebels, Filoni has always played around with that kind of mythology, the mythology of the light and the dark and maybe something in the middle, the Grey Jedi, the Bendu, whatever it is. But very, very cool to see that coming into canon. The voice actor is going to be Tom Baker, who was one of the doctors, one of the first doctors from Doctor Who that we got to see in America. Very cool guy. He's going to knock it out of the park. I think that character is going to be awesome. They also show in the trailer a shot of an Outrider, and it's, I believe it's the YT-4400 is the name of the ship. And Dave was straight up asked if Dash Rendar was going to be on the show. He denied. He said no, Dash is not going to be on there. Super unfortunate. But that is a version of the Outrider, and it's actually designed by the same designer that designed the original Outrider for the game. I believe it was the Shadows of the Empire with Dash Rendar. Very, very cool game, and it's nice to see them kind of just keep bringing it in, keep pulling in from Legends and putting it into the canon. The voice actor that is going to play Thrawn on the show, his name is Lars Mikkelsen. He is a relative of Mads Mikkelsen, which is kind of crazy. Maybe, you know, Dave joked about how they're going to have a really nice Christmas talking about Star Wars stuff. Mads, of course, talks about way too much Star Wars stuff when he's being interviewed and stuff like that. And if you notice, on the Rogue One panel, they didn't even ask him a single question because they didn't want him to pop off. But I think that this is it was just awesome. Basically, it really blew me away. The energy of the panel was awesome. Best panel that I saw on the stream the whole weekend. Dave Filoni has awesome energy. Like I said, I've seen the guy speak live. He went to the same college that I went to. Idol of mine. Awesome dude. Great to see him just kicking all the ass, taking all the names. Sam Witwer was awesome. Warwick Davis, great host, gracious host, begging to have a job. Very, very funny. Dave is the master of non-answering, so he gets a lot of questions and gives non-answers, but you just get to see his vast knowledge of Star Wars every time he opens his mouth. Very, very cool stuff, and I thought the panel was awesome. Let me know in the comment section below. Did you watch the panel? Did you love it? What are you most excited about when it comes to season 3? I mean, come on, it's got to be Thrawn. How pumped are you for that novel? Just, let me know. Let's share some of the Star Wars love. Put that in the comment section below. So, time to check that nerd card. We're going to go Star Wars again, continuing the theme. This one should be a fairly easy one for most of you. The question is, what is the name of the Wookiee planet? What is the name of the planet that the Wookiees live on? Answer the question in the comment section below. And like I said before, just let me know your thoughts about Rebels. And what are you jacked up for when it comes to Season 3? Thrawn, baby! I hope you guys are having an awesome and nerdy day. See ya!